I know, finally, we are back to talking some TV. Finally. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to my series of Halloween reviews, and I thought it would be fun to start this off in the case of this. And we're going to talk about the new HBO Max TV series, Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. But before I get started, if you guys are new to the channel, if you see on screen now, you can follow me on my social media links to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, Snapchat, TikTok for first reactions and stuff. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit that bell for more epitastic content such as TV reviews like this, movie reviews, music, anime, top 10 lists, rankings, commentaries, all that good stuff. Also, my Cash App is also down in the description box down below if you want to support the channel, as well as my Amazon wishlist if you'd like to send me anything from there. Not asking for anything, but if you guys want to, do so. So, PLL Original Sin is created by the creators of Riverdale for HBO Max. This is the fourth TV series in the Pretty Little Liars franchise, which is based on the book series by Sara Shepard and set within the same continuity as the previous series. This stars Bailee Madison, Chandler Kinney, Maya Rafiko, Zaria, and Malia Piles. Simple premise. Let's talk about this. 20 years ago, a series of tragic events almost ripped the blue-collar town of Millwood apart. Now, in the present day, a group of disparate teen girls, a brand new set of Pretty Little Liars, find themselves tormented by unknown assailants. And I'm not going to go too much into spoiler detail. I will give away maybe one or two spoilers, of course. But other than that, let's talk about it. When it comes to Pretty Little Liars, I am a fan of that original show. I first saw that show back in late November 2018. It was a way of helping with a little grieving process with the creator of SpongeBob, Steven Hillenburg, passing away, and this was kind of a way to do it. All 7 seasons I think are great. Some I like more than others, but I thought it was a great show with some great writing, some great characters, some good storylines, and a lot of fun twists and turns along the way. And I think the chemistry of that original cast, from Troy Belzario to Ashley Benson, to Shay Mitchell, and Lucy Hill, really did put that show as one of my favorite shows of all time. And it was just great from beginning to end, despite a few seasons. Ravenswood and the other spinoff, Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionists, I think are pretty solid too. But it is kind of a shame that they did get the boots, mainly because of the popularity of it, but I get it. Ravenswood, it was great on its own as a spinoff, and Pretty Little Liars of Perfectionist was also a pretty solid one that I enjoyed as well. While not as good as the originals, I thought it was still two pretty solid spinoffs. Going into this, I went in cautiously optimistic, and the reason for that was because this is from the creators of Riverdale, which was a great show up until they graduated. I felt like that's where the series personally should have stopped, because after that, Riverdale just became a whole bunch of nothing. But I did enjoy the first 4 seasons, even the season first half of the season when they graduated, which was season 5. But I went into this with low expectations and some curiosity, because maybe they would not treat this with the respect it deserved. I thought this was going to be a case of them just taking everything we know about Pretty Little Liars and insulting it. But at the same time, they wanted to put their own little spin on it. And I gotta tell you right now, this is fucking incredible. Like, I know I'm cursing in this audio review, but this was awesome. This is great. Like, is it better than the original Pretty Little Liars? Hell no. No, you're not gonna top Aria, Emily, Spencer, and Hannah. But for what this show gives us, wow. Because the original show, that is a tough act to follow, but this is not as bad as I expected it to be. And the biggest reason for that is because it does something in its own direction. That's what I love about this. It doesn't try to copy the original Pretty Little Liars. It manages to be its own thing. And that's what I really appreciate about this. Because when it comes to some of these spin-offs or something, you can easily get into the biggest situation of not respecting the original. And for that, I have to give this a lot of credit. One, I do love the horror and slasher elements. I definitely did enjoy that. I like the movie references. You could say some of the movie references gets a little annoying pretty quickly, but I did like the horror and slasher elements and what they bring into it, and I very much enjoy what they were doing there. I did like it. And I like the way the style is. It's a very stylistic directed show. There's great atmosphere going for it. I do like the cinematography of this. It's a good look in here. I love the slasher vibes that they give. And just a lot of fun. And to what we get. It's very creative. And also, yes, it does go into some themes like the dramatic side of this. You get to know about the girls being multifaceted and complex, and you do have the whole situation with some of the guy characters where you get to like them, of course, but there was a few that you don't like. But this is just great on its own, and that's what I like about it. You get to care about these characters, and just a lot of this it's very tension filled. You get some good atmosphere, some very good cinematography in a lot of these episodes. Each episode I feel invested. I'm never bored. Yes, they do go a little politically correct, but in 2022, it is kind of to be expected, but it never really destroys what the show is trying to be. I also like the fact that you get some nice character development for a lot of these new good liars, and how you get to see how the past affects them in one way, shape, or other. And you do have some pretty good chaos moments in here, so I definitely enjoy a lot of the chaotic moments. Again, I'm not giving spoilers away, but there are some references they do make to the original show. You get a reference with, of course, when it comes to Bailee Madison's character, and of course her character is pregnant, and she has a kid. But let's just get into the liars. We have Bailee Madison as Imogene. Imogene, I like this character because she's not only pregnant. It's not because of this she's pregnant, but she's very resourceful. She's the one you can count on. And I liked her character. Again, like I said, her character is pretty much pregnant with a baby, but you do find out the reason why. And I did like a reference to where she gives her baby to Arya and Ezra, which I was very happy that they acknowledged Arya and Ezra, because I was a hell of a pissed in the other spinoff show that you mentioned everyone else but not them. But her performance I thought was great. She carried her own. Chandler Kinney as Tabby Haworth. I like this character because she's a horror film fanatic and she's an aspiring filmmaker. Anyone who's into films and horror, you can definitely relate to her. And I definitely related to her. I like some of the struggles that she goes through with terms of her film making and such. And I like the fact that you get to stick along for the ride with her and trying to help them give justice on the death of a classmate 22 years earlier, and I like that. And what roles did their moms play resulting in tragedy, especially when it comes to the Tabby character. But I thought the performance was great. I would love to see where they take her. I love her friendship with some of the rest of the characters. I very much enjoyed what they were going for there, and I very much enjoy it. You got Zaria as Farron Bryant, and she's a ballerina who deals with racism in the industry, and I like that because yes, you didn't need to go the extra mile, but you do see how the racism affects her in a lot of areas, and I very much enjoyed that. Malia Piles as Minnie Harada, aka Mouse. She's an internet obsessed teen with a history of trauma, which I won't get into. I'm not going to spoil that, but you find out a lot of the trauma that she's gone through, and you can't help but feel bad for her. And she's very likable, very charming. I thought she had some of the best moments. She also gave a fantastic performance. But probably my second favorite or third favorite character besides her, like I said, Malia Piles does a great performance, but probably my third favorite would be Maya Rafiko as Noah Oliver. Now, she's a track star fresh out of juvenile, and you find out why she was in juvie. I don't want to give it away, but I'd say I will only give away a few spoilers, but I liked her. She was very good. She really brought a lot to what she was given, and she just kills it in here. Mallory Betchel is Karen and Kaylee, the queen bee, and the twin sister who feels outshine. For this is where you fall into a trap, because usually when you have to play dual characters, it can either work for good or for bad. But in this case, you buy her, you instantly hate her the moment she first shows up on screen. But the other twin sister, Kelly, I definitely liked her. So those actors I thought was a good job. You also got Sharon Leal, Alina Good, and Leah Salona, and the rest of them. I love a lot of the parents and a lot of them here. They're likable. You get some good moments. Not necessarily funny moments. Is some comedy here, but this is mostly a serious show. And when it comes to Pretty Little Liars, you want to keep that tone of the original show. And I have to say, all of the episodes in this are very good. Like, a lot of the episodes in this are strong. And you're sitting there watching all of these episodes from beginning to end. You definitely see how the twists and turns of this comes. It does play in chapters, and they do play with some creative styles here, like with some horror movies like Carrie and stuff like Psycho, and even going as far as probably something like the original Nightmare on Elm Street and shit. But I just really love a lot of that ideas, and you do get some great reveals when it comes to A, which I'm just gonna spoil who's A. I'm not gonna spoil it because because you need to watch it from beginning. Yes, like I said, it is politically correct a few times, but it never really overstays. It never really takes away from the show. And each episode, for the run times they get, I was enjoying myself. I was very happy. And the fact that this came out on July 28th and was released throughout my birthday month, and me watching all of them, I'm sitting there watching. I enjoy this. Like, I should not have enjoyed this as much as I wanted to, but they actually had some balls and respected the original. Now, of course, I do love this, but like I said, it's not all perfect. I do have some issues in terms of some of the pacing, of course. There are a few moments where some pacing is strong, but there are some moments where the pacing can be a little bit slow at times. And for a few of these episodes, you can kind of feel the slow pacing. Now, I get it, you're meant to take your time, and that's what I definitely appreciate about it. It's taking its time. But there were some moments where I'm just sitting there like, okay, we're doing this, let's get to the point here. And I feel like some of the slow pacing could have been a little stronger. There is some writing elements here that is not as strong as it could have been. There is some great moments of writing in here. A lot of the writing in here is great. But there are maybe one or two moments in a few of these episodes where there is some iffy dialogue. But the dialogue is nowhere near as embarrassing, nowhere near as insulting as you would expect. And I will say, as much as I did love a lot of the horror movie references, there were a few that did get a little annoying. Not a lot, but a little bit. And obviously, this is obviously going to be one. I really do not like the cliffhanger ending here. Now, luckily we got season 2, so I'm very happy about that. But it does get to a point like when you watch the cliffhanger and I'm just like, oh, come on. But luckily we're getting season 2, so I ain't gotta worry about it. But if they ended up canceling this, I would have been easily pissed, because this is just a twist that you just really enjoy. And I'm like, and even the way this ends, holy shit, with a certain thing happening, and then the fate of a certain character that's left unknown. We will see what happens in season 2, and bring it on. I can't wait for season 2. Now, before I give my final thoughts, again, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to follow all my social media links to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, TikTok, Snapchat, Serialize, where you see all the TV shows I watch. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell to get notified for live streams, more reviews like this, TV show reviews like this, movies, top tier 10 list rankings, such. We got a couple of other things I want to talk about for this Halloween season, especially 2022 horror films, such. But overall, Pretty Little Liars Original Sin, holy shit. This had no reason to be as good as it was. Like, it takes the original Pretty Little Liars and it respects it, but also does something different with it. Better than the original? No, I'm not gonna say that. The original show is still the best of the Pretty Little Liars universe, but this is not too bad as I expected. I love the cinematography, some fun moments, some crazy kills, some character development. The performances are strong. The new team of girls carries on, some good atmosphere, direction, and some fun episodes. There's not an episode here I really hate, except the finale, which is not really hate, I just hate the ending of it. Has some slow moments of pacing, some writing issues is not as strong as it, and some of the horror references could be a little annoying. But if you are a fan of Pretty Little Liars, if you have HBO Max, check this out. If you're not a fan of Pretty Little Liars, this is not going to be for you. But even if you're not a big PLL fan, watch this and I think you will have a fun time with it. This is pretty awesome, and I will definitely walk away saying this is an epitastic show. PLL Original Sin, you did great. Well, that's going to do it for the video that you just watched. I will have my channel here, so you would like to see anything here. Click the channel icon, subscribe for more. I will also leave a video and maybe a playlist here, so in case you want to see what I'm about. As always, stay Epictasticness, join the Epictasticness, and you guys keep it cool.